What's happening, guys? This is Sean, the founder of A1 Fitness, and I'm currently tuning in from a lovely sunny Bali, Indonesia. So this conversation and this video is around the 3 common mistakes that high performing women make when they're trying to commit to a healthier lifestyle. Number 1, thinking that diets have to be restrictive is the number 1 common mistake. Number 2, not focusing on mindful eating. And number 3, looking at foods as good or bad. So in this conversation, as I say, I'm going to dive into these 3 in a bit more detail so that you can get a bit more of an understanding of why these are the 3 common mistakes that high performing women make when they're trying to commit to a healthier lifestyle. So this conversation is for you if you're a high performing woman, you're a mother, or someone who strives for more in their life. You're someone who knows that they are capable of more when it comes to your health and wellness. You are someone who is sick of jumping from diet to diet, and you actually want to learn what's needed to reach the result of your dreams. I'm here for you. I got it. And these common mistakes are ones that I have learned the hard way in my own health and fitness journey. There are so many out there, but these 3 I believe are the top ones. So this is obviously coming from a guy who worked in a high performing hospitality role for many years, and I believe that once you have mastered these top 3 common mistakes, the rest just become easier. So a bit about me, if you don't know my story already. As I quickly mentioned, I worked in hospitality before for over 10 years, which I couldn't believe it was 10 years when I was looking at this for this video. And it was in a variety of high performing roles. Starting all the way from like in the bar, all the way up to front office manager. So after not taking care of myself, without even realizing it, I eventually got to the point where I was literally sick of how I looked and how I felt, and I knew that something had to change. So what I did, what not everyone does, but I actually decided to take responsibility for it and actually do something about it. So working with busy women in high performing roles over the last few years, I saw these same problems that I had in my own transformation journey occur for them, and so I want to change that. So being a high performer in your career and wanting more productivity and energy to keep up with demands in your job role can get really, really exhausting. Alongside other demands that I'm sure a lot of you may have from your family and your life at home, it's easy to let your own health and wellness just literally fall by the wayside. And then, of course, it can also feel quite lonely when you're used to focusing on something other than yourself, to actually then prioritize yourself first. And so this is why having a space and a community of people who are focusing on the same things as you is really, really important to actually provide you with that support and that accountability that you need. So again, this is for you if you're ready to take your health and wellness to the next level. You know what you've been doing has worked in the past, but you're ready to take it up a notch and really show yourself what you're capable of. You're a high performing woman in your career, you may have your own business even, or you are in charge of a team and you're an absolute weapon at organizing your family life. You are thriving in these areas, but you feel that you are not putting these amazing skills that you have into your own health to complement these areas that take up a big part of your life. And again, you are probably sick and tired of repeating the same fad diets and watching and following those trending videos that you see online, and you don't want to do that anymore. All right, you actually want to learn the fundamentals of health and wellness once and for all to achieve the results that you want without sacrificing time with your family and with your friends. Okay, so let's dive into those 3 common mistakes that I find high performing women make when trying to commit to a healthier lifestyle. So number 1, thinking that diets have to be restrictive. Okay, we all do it, all right? It's what's marketed to us everywhere, all right? When we hear the word diet, what do we automatically think of? Not eating our favorite foods, lettuce leaves, lemon water, right? Yes, these may be beneficial to us in the short term, but our bodies can't survive on these things only for the rest of our lives. Not only would that be unsustainable, it would be bloody boring life to live, right? So I always teach my clients that if we restrict ourselves from the foods that we enjoy, we are setting ourselves up for failure. And I genuinely believe that. Nobody wants to no longer eat something that they love, simply as, which is why when people start these restrictive diets, that they may get some results for a little while, but then all of a sudden once they stop, they go back to where they were before, and unfortunately some people end up even worse off, which is definitely what you don't want. So this will definitely, like these restrictive diets, will definitely not make you want to stay consistent with your goals, because again, you're giving up the foods that you love. So rule number one, team, diets do not need to be restrictive. Okay, and you can still reach your desired goals without sacrificing the foods or giving up your favorite foods. It's about balance. So for example, I'm not going to tell you that you can't eat pizza if you love pizza. I love pizza. Who doesn't love pizza, right? You'd be an absolute crazy person if you didn't love pizza. What I will tell you though, is that when I eat a pizza, I complement it with a big leafy green salad, or maybe a juice or something like that, big green juice. So this helps balance my meal with whole living foods, really important, alongside these less nutritional carb heavy foods. Again, the problem isn't the carbs, the problem is the amount of the carbs. And then we want to obviously balance it out, as I say, with more whole foods. So as you can see, it is not restrictive, but it's more balanced. And your body, believe me, will thank you later. So the general rule of thumb that I use in my lifestyle and what I teach my clients inside of our HPM Academy is the 80-20 rule, okay? 80% of your meals are whole, nutrient-dense foods to support your body to function to its fullest potential. And the other 20% is the foods we love, all right? It's those chips, it's that pizza, it's those crisps at the weekend. It's having that bit of alcohol at the weekends as well. And these foods will be less nutrient-dense, and that's okay, all right? This way is the secret formula to still enjoying your life without sacrificing your lifestyle and also achieving your health and wellness goals. With this formula that we live by, our Academy members find it easier to make food choices and the overwhelm just goes away. It doesn't feel like a diet or complicated. It becomes second nature in time, which is really, really important. So my commitment to you is that you feel empowered to make these healthier decisions without feeling overwhelmed and making sure that not like it's taking over your life. So one simple decision on this, but believe me team, it gives you a huge benefit to your health. Okay, so number 2 is not focusing on mindful eating. What is mindful eating? Okay, it is being aware of what you are eating and enjoying that time of nourishing your body. So many of us just literally just eat what's in front of us as quick as we possibly can without even realizing what it tastes like, what it smells like, what it feels like on the way down. All right, how many times have you not taken your full lunch break and, as I say, just shoved in whatever was the quickest and most convenient thing to get your hands on? Did you even acknowledge it? Probably didn't. I used to do the same myself as well, so I know. Busy hospitality manager role, corporate role, you know the way it is. If I don't leave my desk and do this one more thing while taking my lunch break, or maybe I'll look more committed to my work and my boss will love me a bit more, I'll get that promotion, you know, my business will get better. It's all bullshit, okay? So that's great to do all this, maybe, probably not, but what's that saying to your body? Are you respecting it enough to put yourself first and your body first? No. So over time then, what will happen is our body will suffer from this way of living, all right? It will suffer. And trust me, it's not worth it, all right? It really isn't. So to be at the level you are in your high-performing roles right now, your body would have needed a lot of energy and drive to get you there. And that's from not fueling it correctly for most of us. So first of all, thank your body for that, all right? It's the only one thing that you have for your life. So thank your body for that first off. And now, imagine what you could achieve if you were fueling your body correctly. How would you feel? How would your energy levels be? How would your productivity be? You know, how would your relationship be with your partner? How would your sex life be? Like, everything would just be improved, all right? Because again, your body is the only vehicle that you have for life. You have to fuel it correctly, all right? You're not gonna go and put diesel in a petrol car, all right? So why are we doing the same to our body? We're putting in shit quality foods most of the time rather than better quality ones. So now is the time to do this. There's no point in just looking at it going, it's something I'll do one day. It's something that you need to start doing now. Otherwise, the repercussions are going to be massive in the future. Okay, it's not just something that you can just continually just kick the can down the road and hope for better results in the future. Your body doesn't work like that. Okay, so you can support yourself to do this in a really in the best possible way without burning out by following these 3 common mistakes and doing the opposite of them, obviously, to make sure you're getting the best results. So unfortunately, looking back on my role in hospitality, I wasn't taking the time for myself. All right, I wasn't putting myself first. and looking after my body during the time I actually needed more productivity and energy, and that's ultimately why, like, I didn't feel happy in myself. You know, I was overweight, I was anxious, you know, depression bouts were super regular. I was just trying to numb it all with alcohol and more shit food. All right, it's not something that I wasn't doing the stuff that I needed to do, and I don't want that to happen to you guys either. So if you don't focus on it right now, as I say, you will pay for it in the future. Okay, so you need to take the time to commit to your health and fitness goals right now. You need to do something like, you know, get an accountability buddy, hire a coach, get to the tools you need to, and put them in place. And then, guys, watch how everything in your life will amplify with you. Everything will get better because you've started to put yourself first, because everything stems from the inside out. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how do we eat in a mindful way? Good question. We do this by eating until, you know, we're 80% full. All right, you'll do it by eating until you're 80% full. And this is a proven way for cultures who actually have the highest longevity rates in the world following this rule. So we're going to dive into this a little bit deeper in our How to Unleash Endless Energy Without Extreme Diets or Intense Exercise live webinar upcoming this week. Okay, so when we become aware of when we are full and what we are eating, we can then learn to listen to our bodies and work with it, not against it. When we are focusing on other areas of our busy lives, like getting the kids ready for school, preparing for a team meeting at work, we're not worrying about what we'll be eating for lunch. We want to have the most energy and productivity to get through our daily tasks in the best possible way. So by preparing our meals in a mindful way, knowing what we should be eating to fuel our body that much ahead of time, we don't have to let it be one of our big decisions for the day, and we can actually concentrate more on the tasks that we need to do in order to be our best at work, at home, with our family, whichever. Because it's estimated that actually an average adult has about 35,000 conscious decisions each day. And think about how many of them you're just wasting on food decisions nowadays. All right? So if you're a high performer, you need these decisions to actually like have a thriving business, to make sure that, you know, you're pushing for that promotion if that's what you want, to make sure that everyone around you is being taken care of. All right? But you don't want to be making these decisions over what I'm having for lunch or what I'm having for breakfast. Okay? So you need to be mindful. I need to be, you know, getting these things decided ahead of time. All right? Not just going about them on the fly. And this is why mindful eating and preparation is essential to succeed in your health and fitness journey. Okay? Essential. And this does not mean meal plans. All right? It's just preparing. Okay? Preparation. So if this is resonating with you, if you're like, yes, I'd love to not have to think about food decisions and I know my body's being fueled in the right way, as I say, come and join the webinar this Saturday. We're going to go through this in a bit more detail so that you can feel confident about your food choices and you can leave the decision making for the things that matter in your life right now. Okay, so let's jump on to number 3. Looking at foods as good or bad. Another massive common mistake that I have made and so many other high performing mothers and women make as they dive into a healthier lifestyle. So many of the women in my space, they just simply want to know what they should eat. Okay, Sean, can you just please tell me what to eat? I can share with you all these different meal plans that I have. I can tell you what I eat, but the reality is it has to be sustainable for you and it has to fit into your lifestyle. So like we mentioned earlier, restrictive diets just don't work. So this is why knowing the actual fundamentals of nutrition is key to living that healthier lifestyle. Because foods aren't good or bad, okay? Foods are like on a scale, all right? So they're either more nutrient dense or they're less nutrient dense, meaning they are either fueling your body or not. Whole foods fuel your body, team, okay? Whole foods fuel your body. That's the ones that are nutrients dense. And processed foods, which unfortunately so many of us just intake regularly every day, don't. Okay, full stop at that. Whole foods are foods such as fruit, vegetables, you know, legumes, everything those type of things with like that you see as you first walk into the supermarket, hopefully, just there right in front of you. Fruits, everything. These support your body to function to its full potential. All right, without them, it just doesn't. Okay, processed foods, I'm sure we all have heard this word by now, include foods that usually have more than 5 ingredients, usually. Okay. These can range from minimally processed foods, like, you know, some pasta sauces that you can see in the supermarkets, to highly processed foods like, you know, McDonald's apple pie or something like that. So learning how to incorporate to get more of these whole foods alongside the foods you love, which, as I say, for most of us, unfortunately, right now are on a scale of processed, and that's okay, will set up your body for success. And alongside this, of course, you need to be making sure you're doing some exercise, but that's for another video. So when you look at food in this way, you make much healthier choices in a more automatic way, okay? So you don't need to like think about it so hard anymore. So yeah, all right, we've gone through a lot there, all right? And that's what you sort of need to be thinking about in a way. So to recap, I've spoken about a lot of different things here, okay? So we've spoken about how diets do not have to be restrictive, because we don't want any basic, you know, shitty meals over here. No lettuce leaves and lemon water for days over here, thanks. And balance is really the key, and that's what's sustainable, okay? So we've also learned how to focus on mindful eating, okay? When we are aware of fueling our body rather than grabbing the most convenient thing that we can, we function to a higher standard because we are fueling our body better. And then, you know, we understand, hopefully now from this conversation, the importance of eating more whole foods, what they are, what I mean by nutrient dense versus less nutrient dense, and of course what processed foods are. And then focusing on getting more whole foods in 80% of the time, and, you know, still having the foods that you love that 20% of the time as well, whether they're processed, non-processed, whichever. And rather than looking at foods as good or bad, not looking at them as good or bad even, and how that can actually help you in the long term to make healthier lifestyle choices. So team, hope we enjoyed that one, okay? A lot of different things we went into there. If you have any questions, as I say, just, you know, send us a message, leave a comment. We'd love to hear what you took away from this video the most. And if you're looking to learn more about the best health and nutrition principles that you need to thrive in all areas of your life, we're offering a live 60-minute webinar this Saturday, the 7th of October, titled How to Unleash Endless Energy Without Extreme Diets or Intense Exercise. We will go into more detail in each of these areas that I've spoken on in this conversation. We'll share more resources and more tools to help you get set up for long-term success in your health and fitness. All right, not just short-term quick fixes, because that is not what we're about. We want long-term results, sustainable results, so that you can get the health and fitness goals that you want. So for only $9 New Zealand dollars, you will learn key ways to start making healthier changes, which will lead to more energy and productivity in your busy life without the need of extreme diets or intense exercise. It is about getting back to basics and creating the foundations that you need to thrive in all areas of your life, because that's what we want. And rather than focusing on all the doing shit, which never actually works, you know, and then unfortunately leads to burnout, that's not what we want, okay? So we want you to focus on the fundamentals and creating the foundations, because we're not here for burnout. We're not here for any of that. So come and join myself and Danielle this Saturday at 12 p.m. Perth time, 2 p.m. Sydney time, to learn some new insights that you've never heard before and connect with some like-minded people. So simply just click the link in the bottom of this video, in the comments, or also on my bio as well, just to join. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that video, guys, and I hope to see you there at our webinar this Saturday, 7th of October, $9. Come and join us. Just click the link in the video, and I can't wait to see you all. All right, take it easy. Have a good one.